Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
It's 8:30 in Nigeria, it's 9:30 in Cairo, and I think it's 11:30 in the Gulf. But you guys know what time it is. It's time for Viewers Pulse. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Viewers Pulse. We always appreciate your viewership and your support, as always, for Huda TV. We have a very, very special guest, you guys. But before I tell you who it is, I want you guys to give me a call. It's 002-0238-555-248 or 9. That's 002-0238-555-248 or 9. Of course, this is a live show, so I'm waiting for your call. The email, of course, is pulse@huda.tv. I respond to you personally, so please shoot me an email, pulse@huda.tv, inshallah. Of course, Facebook, facebook.com/hudatv. Support Facebook, Huda TV on Facebook, and all our individual programs. And the program we will be talking about this evening also already has a Facebook page, which we will be speaking about, inshallah. Just a quick story. On the way to the program today, I had the guest with me in the car. We're driving along, and I hear a guy behind me honking his horn. I said, who is this guy? He's trying to speed past me. I realized it's the director of this program, SubhanAllah. It's a small world. Anyways, we're joined by a special guest. He's a graduate of Medina University, where he spent many years studying Arabic and the religion of Islam. He's also a prominent Muslim revert to Islam from the United States of America. He's the Hatib or Imam of the Manar Quran Center in the UAE, as well as Tiffany Mosque, as well as an Islamic studies teacher. He's filming a program right now with us titled Missing Ingredients. You might think it's a food show. Well, let's let him explain it. I'm talking about, of course, Sheikh Abdul Rahim McCarthy. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Thank you so much. And Sheikh, you know, you're one of the first few guests on this program who has a bigger beard than me. But in any event, Sheikh, let's tell the viewers a little. This program is about who you are and about what show you're filming at Huda TV. So start by giving the viewers, because this is your first time on Huda TV, although you appear on Peace TV. But so tell us a little bit about yourself, where you studied, a little bit about who you are, where you've traveled to, and this sort of thing.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. I'm your brother in Islam, Abdul Rahim McCarthy, Abu Abdurrahman. I accepted Islam in 1994, and I traveled to Sudan, where I started to study the basics of the Arabic language and the Quran, and then later relocated to Saudi Arabia, where I lived for about 11 years altogether, a year in between Mecca and Jeddah, and then 10 years in Medina Munawwara, alhamdulillah, where I studied in the Islamic University, as well as studying with several scholars there as well, alhamdulillah. Okay,
wonderful. So now you speak classical Arabic, and you also picked up the Sudanese slang, the Saudi slang. Now I see you're mastering the Egyptian slang.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm getting that.
But when did you start as really giving dawah in the public sphere, in the public eye, I guess we can say? When did you begin, speaking out, attending events and giving lectures?
Yeah, that was basically after I graduated, when I finished the university, and I went actually to Sudan after I finished, and I was working there, also teaching and working also with some Islamic organizations there. And actually, strangely enough, I started out giving lectures not in English. I was looking for a field, and there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of need there in English, but I couldn't find really a place to give lectures in English. So I actually started giving lectures in Arabic. I gave one in English. It was actually a coincidence that it was a mix-up and one of the sheikhs was coming from Saudi for a big event. We have the opening of a huge masjid we had there in Sudan, and we also had a clinic and things like that with it. So we were bringing in speakers from outside. So one of the sheikhs, he had, they mixed up his flight. So he had a lecture, but he wasn't there. He was going to be there the next day. Right. So I had given one talk, it was in English, and it was about women's rights, or the role of women in Islam. So I had that ready. So they said, can you step in for the sheikh? And it was in Arabic. It was at an all women's Quran center in Khartoum. So I ended up giving that lecture, and I guess the people liked it. So I kept getting invited after this lecture, mashallah.
Oh, great.
Giving lectures in Arabic. And then, alhamdulillah, after that, we started as well giving in English. And then later, obviously, I started traveling abroad, first to Canada, then to India with Peace TV. And alhamdulillah, that's how it all started.
That's how it all started, subhanAllah. As your name suggests, you come from an Irish background. And actually, earlier this afternoon, we filmed the first episode of my favorite program, Ramadan's Pulse Season 2. Unfortunately, which may be canceled actually this season. But in any event, tell us a little bit about your Irish background, and will you be in Ireland soon to work as an imam and give dawah in Ireland? Because I think there's a need for you there.
Inshallah. Well, we hope, inshallah, if it's possible that we would be able to go there, inshallah, and set up and help the Muslims there. They are in great need.
Right.
And it's a big and growing Muslim community there, and they need the help. So, inshallah, if it works out, inshallah, definitely we'll go, inshallah.
Yeah, okay. If Allah puts you that in your destiny, inshallah, of course. Moving forward, let's talk about your program. You're on TV now, and you're actually filming right now. We actually stopped the filming of that show to conduct this live show to give the viewers a little bit of insight about your program. You titled it Missing Ingredients. So, is it about Greek food, Italian food, or Moroccan food?
Irish. Yeah, alhamdulillah. The show, actually, we were looking for a name for it, and we were deciding, and the brothers had contact. I was very busy, so I couldn't really think. But as soon as we sat down, we started thinking about different names. I said, what about Missing Ingredients? And everybody, the brothers really liked it. And it's a catchy name, but what is it about? And I've gotten several emails here on my Facebook page and on people asking, what is it about, Sheikh? What is Missing Ingredients about? And I refused to tell anybody, even one of my closest friends. He said something in one of the comments, and I didn't reveal it because I want to reveal it here tonight.
MashaAllah, thank you, Sheikh.
on viewers' polls.
Thank you so much, Wallah, because this is the purpose of our show, to give them the inside hit. And I think we're going to have some pictures actually behind the scenes of you that should appear on the screen shortly.
Inshallah.
But why did you title it Missing Ingredients after all? Why did you agree to the title? And we can see those pictures right now. That's you on the set, I believe, of your program, Missing Ingredients there. It looks like a lovely set.
Inshallah.
And you don't seem to be, you seem very experienced in front of the camera, and you're very confident in your words. And I enjoy it. I had the opportunity to watch the 25th and 26th episode. I thought it was very nice and beneficial. But Missing Ingredients, and here's the studio that we're in now, and this is just to the left of where we're sitting now. The viewers may not understand that, but we're actually in the same. This set right now is actually behind the camera that's filming us now.
Yes,
but Missing Ingredients, I like that. So why did you agree to the title?
Well, I thought of the title myself, actually, and then the brothers liked it, and then we all came together and agreed upon it. Because this is what it is. These are ingredients and things that we've been missing.
Right.
And we're trying to fill them in the show. So this is the whole goal of the whole purpose of the show, is to fill in these missing ingredients that we're missing.
It's not one of those shows that says, okay, this is the fiqh issue about this, and this is the fiqh issue about putting your hands in. It's not that show.
No, not at all.
It's about getting more out of the prayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gave it away.
Well, you know what? Let's just check out one of the clips. We have prepared a clip for you.
Okay, very good.
We're going to check out that clip, and then you're going to explain it for us, inshallah,
Inshallah,
Sheikh.
inshallah.
You guys check out this clip from Sheikh Abdul Rahim McCarthy's all-new program, Missing Ingredients. Stay tuned.
The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, بين الرجل وبين الكفر والشرك ترك الصلاة. That what comes between a man and kufr and shirk is leaving the prayer. Clear evidence that whoever leaves the prayer is considered a kafir, a non-Muslim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks about the people of the hellfire, ما سلككم في السقر. Saqar, one of the pits of the hellfire. What put you in this pit? They say that we weren't from the people who used to pray. لم نكن من المصلين. They say we didn't used to pray. We left the prayer. Clear proof that a person who doesn't pray will be in the hellfire, won't be a Muslim. We need to think about this, the status of it. Think about the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he said that أول ما يسأل عنه العبد يوم القيامة. The first things he's asked about from من أعماله, from his actions, will be the prayer. فإن قبلت, if it's accepted, قبل سائر عمله. If it's accepted, then the rest of his actions will be accepted as well. When ردت سائر عمله. ردت سائر عمله. That if it's rejected, then the rest of his actions will be rejected with it as well. Pay attention to that when you look at the status of the prayer. The danger of not close guarding the prayer, of leaving the prayer. All of this shows us the status of the prayer. And when we think and reflect on this, even before the prayer, it takes your prayer to a whole nother level. Because you know the reality of what you're about to do. If you become lazy, shaitan comes in, you say, this is not a joke, this is the prayer. If you leave something else, it's haram. I'm not saying it's not. If you don't pay zakat, it's haram. If you don't fast in Ramadan, it's haram. But most of the scholars say that it's not an act of kufr. Did you know, I want you to pay attention to this too, that some of the scholars from the early Muslims and from the modern day scholars even today, like our Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah, they say that whoever leaves one prayer, pay attention to that, one, not the whole prayer, one prayer intentionally that he's a kafir. To that extent. It's no joke when it comes to the prayer.
Welcome back to the Pulse. We're joined, of course, with Sheikh Abdurrahim McCarthy. Sheikh Abdurrahim, before we get to speaking about that clip, we have a phone call from one of our viewers in the USA, in California, if I remember. Brother Peter, assalamu alaikum. Brother Peter, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I am so happy to be with you guys today, alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much, Peter, for calling. And I want you to leave your email because I want you to be in touch with you because I'm also from California. And I want to reveal to you, to the viewers, before I accepted Islam in California 6 years ago, my name was Peter.
Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead with your thoughts and comments, brother.
Tamam, my question is, I have a brother who I want to help, and he's basically joining his prayers with the idea that he's a traveler because he's commuting to work back and forth. I don't think I've asked another sheikh the question, and I think that that's incorrect. I wanted just to make sure he gets all the blessings he can get by making his prayers correctly. But again, he's joining his prayers due to his commute, and it's really not more than a 30-mile commute. So I just wanted to help him. I wanted to know what the best way to do that was.
Sheikh, do you need any more information from Peter in order to answer his question?
I just need the distance, that's it.
Oh, and the distance, Peter, was 30 miles, you said?
30 miles, yeah.
Yeah, about 30 miles.
Okay, Peter, I'll tell you what, brother, we have to take a short break. The Sheikh is going to answer you after the break, inshallah. But Peter, how long have you been Muslim for, brother, if you don't mind me asking?
Quite a while. I just retired, actually, from the military. And so about, 15 years.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Brother, really, wallahi, please leave your email with the brothers in the control so we can stay in touch and facilitate if you would like to, watch more programs, or we can help you somehow, brother. We appreciate your viewership. Thank you so much, Brother Peter, all the way from California. You guys stay tuned for more Viewers Pulse because we're going to answer that fatwa question, and we're going to get to talking about missing ingredients with Sheikh Abdurrahim McCarthy, so stay tuned.
Huda TV, a light in every home.
Welcome back to the Pulse. Thank you guys for staying with us. Sheikh Abdurrahim, we were speaking with Peter, called us from California. He had asked about his friend who was combining the prayers, who was traveling approximately 30 miles one way to his work, and he asked him, is this correct? Should this brother be combining his prayers?
And in general, the scholars mentioned that the distance that should be traveled, or to be considered a traveler, is about 80 kilometers.
Which is how many miles, Sheikh?
We'd have to check it out.
We divide it by two, about, right?
So, okay. I mean, 30 miles is definitely not 80 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, I mean, it's less than what, so he wouldn't be considered a travel. But there's a traveler. There's something else we need to point out, though, is the fact that a lot of that goes back to the urf, or the custom of the country as well. So if you're going from a distance, like for example, when the people go between Mecca and Jeddah, it's about 70 kilometers, but they don't consider it traveling when they're going to Mecca or Jeddah. So even if it would be 80 kilometers, people don't consider that traveling. It's a normal commute for the people. Like when you go to certain cities, to one side to the other, it's about 80 kilometers. Like in Riyadh, for example, in Saudi Arabia, it's about that distance, 67, 80 kilometers from one side to the other. It's a huge city, mashallah. So they're not considered travelers when they go to the other side because the custom of the people. So this brother, he wouldn't be a traveler, and it wouldn't be any correct for him to constantly do that. I mean, if something were to happen every now and then where he would be forced to, that's different. But to make it his custom, as Brother Peter was saying, that's not acceptable. He shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, thank you for that, Sheikh. And actually, Sheikh Salah is traveling. We're airing a recorded episode. Yeah. Perhaps he missed Ask Huda, so he called us. I had to get that. So about the clip that we saw, which episode was that? That was, a tough reminder, but perhaps necessary. Was that in the beginning of the program?
Yes, that was in the beginning of the program. Probably, I think, the first or second episode. And basically, just to give the viewers a brief outlook of what the program is about. the missing ingredients, it is about the prayers. What we've been missing, the ingredients we've been missing in our prayers, and defining the pleasures in our prayers, and how to fill in these ingredients, inshallah, in order to obtain, inshallah ta'ala, pleasure in our prayer. And just to give some background information about it, how this actually came about is that when I graduated from the university and I was giving da'wah in Sudan, I had read some different books by Ibn al-Qayyim and some others about finding pleasure in the prayer and taking what from Ibn al-Qayyim was saying. So I took this and I started to reflect myself on some of the things of the prayers and some of the wisdoms and hikmas we get behind all of the movements that we do and all the statements that we say. So I made it into a lecture that was given several times in both Arabic and in English, in Sudan and abroad and around the world. And it was filmed in Qatar, and the brothers put it online, and it got some good views and some good feedback from the viewers. And some brothers in the Manar Quran Center, where I'm the Khatib in Dubai, they came to me, and they had told me, because they're from the south of India, from the Kerala region,
Yes.
and they told me that in their language, they had done a intensive workshop about this same topic, which I was doing. And they informed me that there was a Kuwaiti sheikh by the name of Mashari al-Kharraz, who had done a very similar thing, but more in depth in Arabic. So they said, basically what they did in their language is they took from what he said and put it into their language. He said, you've already done most of the work, but perhaps you can benefit a little bit from what he did, and we'll make it into a course. So that's what we did. I listened to what he said. I went back to the books of Ibn al-Qayyim, went back to other books. I made it more research. And so we actually made it into an intensive workshop, which I offered twice in Dubai, and I did about half of it in Dublin, in Ireland as well, where it was, it took us about 12 hours to finish the course, where we went in depth into each step and each movement we say. And when I was coming here to Huda TV, they asked me for different topics. So I know this is very important. It's something that I really benefit. And if you were to look on my Facebook page, on my Twitter account, you would see that I wrote the other day, I said that hands down, that this is without a doubt the most beneficial show that I've ever done, meaning benefiting myself, because alhamdulillah, even as the speaker, and sometimes when you give the khutbah, sometimes when you do this, when you actually feel it yourself as a speaker, that's when you know it's a really touching and really beneficial topic. So and I've heard some good feedback from the brothers here now, who are attending, mashallah, and the brothers who are in the control and the producer and everything. But I mean, me myself, I'm actually feeling it too, and it's had even a big effect on my salat these days here in Egypt, mashallah. And it's a great reminder, and it's something that we actually have been missing. Prophet ﷺ, how he used to strive and how he used to find this pleasure in his prayer. He described the prayer as the coolest of his eyes. He used to say to Bilal radiallahu anhu, his mu'adhin, when he would call for prayer, he would say, "Arihna biha ya Bilal." Let us find the relaxation through the prayer. So this is something that we're missing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He told us, "Wasta'inu bis-sabri was-salat." Seek assistance through patience and prayer. So we have the ingredients to make the difficulties of life easy, but we don't follow the way of the Prophet ﷺ in the Quran, unfortunately. So that's what we're hoping to do from this series, is to fill in these missing ingredients into our salat and bring our salat back to life, so we can attain the pleasure and the prayer like the Prophet ﷺ and his followers and those who follow in the footsteps used to do.
Thank you, Sheikh Abdurrahim. Back to that clip, you use very strong language. Is that in order to set the tone in the beginning, to let the people know you have to pray? And then after you establish that, then you get into the things that you said.
Well, what I did, how I broke the series down and the course down, is I put it basically into 3 stages.
Okay.
Stage 1, I called it the essential ingredients that you have to have, the basic ingredients, which some of them have to do with the prayer and some of them don't, just in general in life. Okay. And there was 10 of them. Okay. And the first of the 10, which we saw the clip was knowing the status of the prayer. And that was only some of it they showed now. Okay. When you know the status of the prayer, it makes you take it more seriously. Right. And then stage 2 was from the adhan until the takbir of ihram. The takbir of ihram, we had about 6 different things we focused on in there in detail as well, MashaAllah, as ways to prepare us for actually diving into the prayer. And then once we said Allahu Akbar and we surrendered to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we entered into the prayer and everything changed inside the prayer, we started to reflect on the meanings of every single step, everything we did in the prayer, everything we say, everything we do in the prayer, and reflect on the meanings behind them and the wisdoms behind it, why we say it, and the strong meanings. We're in the Surah Al-Fatiha in depth, several episodes about the strength of Surah Al-Fatiha.
So thank you, Sheikh Abdurrahim. Let's take a look at another clip, inshallah, and you can explain it as well. You guys stay tuned to Viewers Pulse. We're going to look at another clip, behind the scenes clip, at Missing Ingredients, presented by Sheikh Abdurrahim McCarthy. Stay tuned.
We need to have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah makes this clear throughout the Quran. He talks about His rahmah, His mercy, about He's all forgiving. From His names is a Ghafoor. From His names are Rahman or Rahim, the all merciful. And we forget the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also severe in punishment. Oh, we know it, but we don't want to think about it. But check out these verses when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He says, نَبِّئْ عِبَادِي أَنِّي أَنَا الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. Pay attention to this verse. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, tell my servants that verily I am the Ghafoor Rahim, the all forgiving, the all merciful. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately say in the verse that comes next, the verse that comes right after this verse? وَأَنَّ عَذَابِي هُوَ الْعَذَابُ الْأَلِيمُ. That verily my torment, my torture, it's the severe. It's very severe. So this is the reality of the believer, that he worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through hope and through fear.
Welcome back to the Pulse. Sheikh Ibrahim, perhaps you can speak a little bit about that that clip, inshallah.
Yeah, that was just another clip, I believe it was when we were talking about Surah Al-Fatiha, when we're
Okay.
talking about Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and the Rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the vast mercy. Like I said, in depth, and the main goal of this series is to reflect, for us to reflect on the meanings that we haven't reflected on before, and to have each ayah that we read to touch us and to have new meaning, to have each Allahu Akbar. We went into depth and we said Allahu Akbar about the greatness of this statement and what it really means and why we say it so many times in the prayer. When we open up our prayer, the dua of istiftah that we make, the great meanings behind it, the great meanings behind, as we were doing today, about Rabbana wa lakal hamd, when we stand up, what are these great meanings behind this and how it really affects the true Muslim.
MashaAllah, it's a wonderful reminder. Sheikh, you're relatively young, Sheikh. You're hip to the scene. You're from America. So we know you have a Facebook. So we're putting that URL on the screen now, your Facebook URL, in order for people to contact you if they want to just like the page and share it with their friends, or perhaps they can send you a message directly if they want to book you or to ask you a fatwa question. That's Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/
You have the brothers to have
Oh, they have it on the screen now, inshallah. So that's the Facebook. And, you know, Facebook isn't enough nowadays because Facebook is wonderful. You can share your videos.
Actually, one of my
photos.
students is the one who did the thing, so I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right. Great.
Oh,
but also Twitter, because I actually like Twitter because people I felt it's a positive thing where you can, it's an intellectual Facebook where you can share hadith and nice things on Twitter. So we have your Twitter on the screen as well. So Twitter, what happens there, you have to follow the Sheikh on Twitter, and we have that on the screen there. So please do so. And also, we did open up, by the grace of Allah, a Facebook page for this program, Missing Ingredients. So if the viewers want to follow that program and know what's going on with that program, the topics that will be discussed, and check out the behind-the-scenes footage, that's on the screen as well.
That one I know, Facebook.com/Missing Ingredients.
Okay, Facebook.
Because we said it in the show several times, so that one I know. Inshallah.
Great. So Facebook.com/Missing Ingredients, and inshallah, they will be able to find the links and the photos and all that sort of thing. So barakallah fiqh. Sheikh Ibrahim, this is the end of the episode. Did you have I'm sorry I wish it was an hour. You were a wonderful guest. We look forward to having you. Do you have any plans to come back to the TV in the future, inshallah?
Inshallah. If you guys invite me, inshallah, I'll come back.
It's our honor and pleasure. Thank you. Barakallah fiqh. Thank you so much. And you guys at home, thank you for watching The Pulse. I certainly appreciate your time as well. I certainly hope this program was beneficial. So until next time, if there is next time, inshallah, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.